Reginald here. Good evening. We're out on the range today, so you'll have to bear with the sound of the Poxwalkers dying in the background. I'm just kidding, I made sure to mute the video properly this time. I was actually watching back my video from earlier yesterday, and I realized I had forgotten to mute one of them, probably because I was doing some editing and had to delete it and put it back in. But in any case, what was it I said in my own review the other day? I should favor speed over preciousness. Same thing applies to my videos, and why shouldn't I focus on pumping out good stuff rather than worrying about perfect stuff? So I'm going to keep doing it that way, and if I make a few mistakes along the way, well, we'll live. So what are we doing here? Well, I did say I had a lot of data, and I've been processing through it one by one, and I noticed something while doing a little editing. Let's just take a look at this screen so it'll make sense. Alright, well, it might be hard to see, but let me just explain. So, there's a bunch of Eviscerators on here. I am, after all, trying to make a video about the Eviscerator, and I've been testing, I think, 7 of them now. I happen to have a lot of them because I was originally very fond of the Eviscerator, so I've got a lot of good rolls, and I've been able to play with blessings. It's a fortunate side effect of being interested in a given weapon. Anyway, the key detail here is, if you notice, there's a lot of different Eviscerators, but there's no consistent pattern that easily draws out that proves that my tests are reliable. The margins are fairly small on a lot of these weapons, actually. So my worry was, am I actually using a reliable test? Have I done anything to average these out? Theoretically, I should probably be running my tests 3 or 4 times per weapon, but that's really going to be tedious. Can I say that the tests are accurate enough that I don't need to do that? Well, I guess we have to go find out. Alright, so what you're watching now is Eviscerator 7 Test 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be playing in the background when we go here. But the basic gist of what I found was, yeah, okay. They're actually all fairly close together, and if they're edited properly, as according to my system of cutting any real outlier, like Poxwalkers that were hiding in a corner somewhere, or far away from me that I can't get to quickly, and from the first hit to the last hit on the valid targets, then yeah, they actually come out to be pretty close together. And as long as I don't try to do anything too fancy, like using a whole bunch of special attacks or something, I just fight normally according to how I would want to fight with the weapon in an average game, then yeah, these are lining up well. And that is the key thing about these tests, is you want to fight and test the weapon according to the protocol you intend to use it in a real game. Unless you're looking to test some niche use case or something like that, where like, oh, I'm going to use just the special attack over and over and see if that enhances anything. Obviously, you can vary these tests to your taste once you've got a baseline, so that was kind of the idea in the first place. But what we're seeing here is just, okay, does this come across as valid? And the answer seems to be yes, within a margin of error of about 3.5 seconds, give or take a little, right? And that's great, because that means I can probably just use this test, and if there's a weapon that's within 3 seconds-ish, 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds of another weapon, I can just say that's about the same performance, and it's probably within, there's probably some player issue there that caused that to be slower or faster. It's not enough to make a big difference, right? So I need to look for things bigger than 3 or 4 seconds if I want to find differences, unless I'm willing to do really rigorous averaging, testing kind of stuff. And, maybe I will for some weapons, but certainly not in all cases. Except I do have a singular problem that is in the way, and that's the Eviscerator 2 comparison. I have a recording here that took far less time than another one, and I have no idea why. So if you want to watch it with me, we can maybe look at it together and figure it out. But for now, I'm just going to throw that out as an outlier and just continue onwards, because I don't have time to just do this forever. I would like to make some progress on the actual review, so we're going to stick with 3.5 seconds as kind of our baseline for the margin of error and go from there. With that, I will just say, have yourselves a great night. I really appreciate you coming to visit. I'll let the rest of this run so you can see all the other tests I've done on Poxwalkers with Eviscerators. Bye-bye.